I think it's a bit the softness we see in the market, in front of us. And the question is basically whether they're wondering when the inflection point. A number of our competitors have reported soft numbers. Ours are actually pretty good compared to a number of them. But overall, is basically there is softness in the market, notably in the US. And I think they're concerned about basically when will be the inflection point. An interesting fact that we see compared to other deceleration phases is that we continue to have a pretty strong pipeline. Actually, our pipeline of opportunities is an all-time high, which shows really that the appetite for client for digital transformation remains extremely strong. But there is hesitation around starting some of these large programs, and that's kind of what's slowing down the market. But we do expect at the inflection point that the rebound could be quite strong, actually.
Yeah, and that's really important. I'm just looking at a couple of the analysts this morning as well. JP Morgan talking about that the consensus miss on the organic figure has come sooner than expected, will likely add further fuel to the view that demand environment is worsening. So you're acknowledging the demand environment is tough, but you're actually talking about a very sharp recovery thereafter. How long out are we talking, though, Aiman? Because it could be quite a while, yeah?
No, it's not long. I think, when we give the guidance at the beginning of the year, we gave a range. When you said at the high end of the range is the inflection point would happen in Q4. We see that more moving now to Q1 or Q2 next year. But again, it's a small movement for 3 to 6 months that we see in potential inflection point in terms of rebound. We know that many of our clients cannot hold on to basically not launching some of these programs for very long because it's going to have an impact on their future competitiveness. We're talking about transformation program. We're not talking about just some a bit more spend in IT to upgrade systems or some project. We're really talking about fundamentals that are absolutely critical to their future to move to a digital and sustainable business. So we're quite confident that they cannot hold on for too long. And in the US, we're facing a bit some of cost-cutting exercise coming at a number of large firms right now, which should end sometime in the third or fourth quarter, which then will predict to a better environment moving into 2024.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up other companies, but it was fascinating. I spoke to Peter Herweck yesterday of Schneider, a man you know very well. And it was one of the few examples I've spoken to so far of someone using AI at the moment and it's producing revenues and profits rather than talking about the investments in AI creating revenues further down the line as well. How far are we at Capgemini from realizing your AI aspirations, given what you've said today about the extra investment?
Well, I mean, we have an acceleration we see. We have grown our data and AI capabilities at a rhythm of more than 20% for the last several years. And what we see now with Gen AI is a further acceleration that we expect over the coming 3 years. Hence, we expect to double our capabilities around Gen AI and data in the next 3 years. So we're going to move from 30,000 to 60,000, which is, of course, is a massive investment in terms of resources and skills. But we see as a difference compared to the hype around metaverse, we see very quick payback. I mean, I had a question this morning around how fast do we move from a POC, or proof of concept to really production. And in this Gen AI is moving quickly. We're working with a number of clients. For example, we work with a retail bank around improving their relationship managers' productivity by being able to use Gen AI to be able to put complex offerings for clients and proposal in a much shorter period of time. We're moving from a proof of concept and a minimum viable product to basically scaling it up at a much larger way in a matter of 2 or 3 months. Where normally with some of this new technology, like we have seen in digital at the beginning of digital, it takes quarters and sometimes 1 or 2 years before we move from a POC to real production. And here we see the impact as being much, much, much quicker. Hence, we see a real acceleration for appetite for clients to be able to invest in Gen AI.